Well, Pastor, it is an honor to sit here with you today and to talk about something we have coming up for the community. One workshop that I have found so useful, and I'm glad we're bringing back the Complete Your Life File workshop. So I'm going to let you tell our viewers what the workshop is and why are we doing this for a third time?
Well, Miss Iantha, I am so honored to have you here to share this moment with me because one thing that we thrive here at Faith Outreach, we love our community and we want to make our community better as we're making each other's better. And when I look at Complete Your File workshop, it's a total workshop that prepare a person as if they've just gotten married or they just finished college, they're single, or maybe a widow that don't have their business in order. We say business in order, i.e., budget, funeral arrangement, life insurance, will, trust, even down to credit repair. Because there are so many families in the body of Christ that they are beautifully saved. But when it comes around to their personal affairs, there's a lot of areas that are lacking.
Yeah.
And as a church, we want to make sure that people are not only spiritually ready for the return of Christ, but they're ready in the case of an untimely death and the affairs of the family beyond it.
Yeah, because a lot of people, unfortunately, we don't think about untimely death. And if nothing taught us better, 2020 taught us
Exactly.
that death can happen at any time. And we really do need to be ready.
Right.
And one of the things that I learned in the workshop was about having a living will
Right.
and how important that is, even at my age. So, can we debunk a few myths here? Is this workshop just for those who are 50 and above?
No, ma'am. The workshop is for anyone of age, and now they are independent of their parents. Because as a pastor, I have the unfortunate privilege of funeralizing these days young people as well as middle age and seniors. And I've found here lately there have been more young and middle age than senior. One of the tragedies of a lot of parents is they never thought that they would have to bury their son or their daughter. And what's worse is when there's nothing in place to accommodate that homegoing celebration.
Yeah. I kind of want to stay in that vein because you have seen a lot in all of your years of pastoring.
Right.
Can you share a specific instance when someone transitions and they didn't necessarily have their life file in order and, you know, the consequences or just what that looked like?
Well, you know, when I think about it, there's nothing more disheartening when a family have a son or daughter that transition accidentally from a car accident or maybe involved in some type of teen gang violence. And I've seen the case where a young man was murdered and the family wasn't ready. So now they had to ask people to cash out. They had to go on social media and ask people for support. They had to reach out to all the family members to try to gather finances. And in one case, I did a homegoing celebration where they literally had to lift an offering at the end of the homegoing celebration.
Wow. And I mean, unfortunately, we see it all over social media where people are starting GoFundMe and
Yes.
all of these things to take care of death. But thankfully, we have, I'm so grateful for my church where we put these kinds of things together so people can come. And this is free.
Right.
It's not just for the Faith Outreach family. It's for anyone. I've invited a couple of friends. I want them to come. I was like, bring your husband because we need to talk about estate planning. That's one of the
Right.
things that'll be covered.
Absolutely. And when I look at it, Iantha, it's not someone getting up, as we say, shooting off the hip, giving information, but we're bringing in judges. We're bringing in lawyers. We're bringing in insurance agents and funeral home directors, people that do this every day that can really give us good quality information to make quality decisions. And then they have programs in place that we can be proactive instead of reacting. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So with that, if you had to package and say, I want every individual who is present to walk away with these things, what would you say?
I would say the first thing that I would want them to walk away with is knowledge and application of the knowledge of all that they will gather. Now start prioritizing that. I would say walk away with a better understanding of the importance of having life insurance, whether whole or term, also having a will, trust, understanding how to establish your estate, having everything laid out and spelled out. In the case of untimely death, for instance, I'm 65 going on 66. Not only do we have a will in place, we have a trust. And I've sit down with my wife and my children, and they all know exactly where everything is in order. And we have taken the time to, I am the primarily provider for my wife. And if and when I transition and God allow her to live beyond me, she would not have to reduce the way she lived. We have enough insurance in place to allow her to live for 20, 30 plus years beyond me, if necessary. And then understanding the importance of where all of these vital documents are located, in a vault or in a safe, filing things away. I'm retired from the military, and by virtue of that, we have what we call the Department of Defense 214, which is a vital document that's needed in the case of a military service member that have been honorably retired or separated from the military. That document is the first document needed beyond anything else. So all of this, I think, packaging, having the information and then package this away so that all of this information is approachable at that time.
Yeah, that's good. I'm grateful for that. And one of the things that I learned the last time I attended was that if we do not handle our business, the state of Georgia will. They will, they helped us to understand that we have assets. Even if you think you don't, you may think you don't make a lot of money. You may think I don't own a home. I may not own my car, but there is something, even if it's down to the clothes that you own, something that you want to write in a will that says it's going to go to this person, it's going to go to that person, whatever, because if you don't establish where things will go, the state of Georgia will take care of it for you. And they'll have it go wherever they want it to go. I think it's just important that we come to learn what we should do.
Right.
What we should do.
We often say that the scriptures say people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And not only at this workshop, they're going to get the knowledge, but they're going to get the application. They'll know how to apply. You know, it's one thing to walk away with a lot of knowledge, but if you don't know how to apply that knowledge, if it's not practical, and I've found through each workshop that I've gone through, I've walked away with another level of confidence on how to do it, and then I go and I put it into place because that is something I don't want my family. There's going to be enough stress on them. The grieving's going to be there, and they don't have time, and it may not even be death. It's hypothetically. Let's just come back in on another area, credit repair. I mean, there are a lot of young people today that didn't realize when they got credit cards early in their lives while they were in college, how it was going to impact their credit later on. And now they are on their own, and unfortunately, their credit scores are not where it should be. And for a lot of them, they're thinking they just got to contend with that. But there are things that can be done to rectify. And that's why I think it's not only just a good idea, it's a God idea to come to workshops like this. Because when you go to a credit repair, just the average cost of a credit repair workshop is anywhere from $350 to $500. And now you can come to a workshop on a Saturday morning and get this information as a gift.
Totally free.
Yeah.
And you get breakfast.
Yeah.
I mean, you come in, you eat your breakfast, and then you get to hear from professionals. I think that's the part I appreciated the most when I came. And with this being the third one, like you just said, every time you come, you hear something different. I knew when it was offered this time, I need to go again. Because I was able to work on one or two things from the last workshop. Right. This one, I know I need to hear that information again so I can now go and work on one or two other things.
Right. Yep.
So, yeah, well, just a little bit of information about the workshop. It will be at our main campus, Faith Outreach Church, 2664 Willis Foreman Road, this Saturday, which is February 3rd. Yeah, that's it. February 3rd, starting at 8 a.m. Breakfast will be served. And we always take care of our people when we feed them.
We do?
We eat pretty well. And then we'll go right into the workshop with all of our key people, again, talking about credit repair, estate planning, funeralizing, all of those things to get your life file in order.
Right.
So that, because, I mean, a lot of our spiritual people, church people, if we'll call them.
Right.
It is very hard to focus on the things of God when all of those other things are crowding your thought space.
Right.
When that is in order, we have a lot more room to be free to do the things that God has called us to do.
Absolutely. And you know, one of the bonus coming to a workshop like this, and it was a great forum last year to just network with other community leaders and people in the community. So I thought it was just totally well-rounded, an opportunity for you to get to know other people and get to know them up close, so you can, if you need an additional appointment with those presenters, you can even make appointments with them.
That part was very good. At the very end, they were very open with saying, okay, if you need to talk about this more, set an appointment with us. I mean, this is just, how can we not benefit from it? How can we not? So I'm excited about Saturday.
I am too. And, you know, I think about, and I don't want to be preachy, but 3 John says, Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as your soul prosper. When I think about your soul, I think about your mind, your will, and your intellect. It's very enlightening to know that you have your personal affairs in order. Now you can sit around and you can enjoy life as you go throughout life instead of stressing about things that you haven't taken care of. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. Is there anything else you want to add for anyone who's listening? Because, again, you don't have to be 50 to attend this.
Right.
if nothing else, I would say the younger generation, like you said earlier, as soon as you're independent, you're apart from your parents, you're living on your own, this is the time to come and start getting your life file in order. You're never too young.
Absolutely. You know, the only other thing that I would add is it is a privilege and an honor to give back to our community. I think I speak in behalf of the entire Faith Outreach family, both location. One of the things that I've noticed about our congregation, we love giving back. So I challenge you to come back, and if you never came, come and receive. And I believe that it will empower you and you will be able to excel further in life.
Yeah, I agree.